tracking their opinions, behaviours and actions as they matured through early adulthood, and we've analysed over 5 million data points in the process. When you observe something that closely, even the tiniest of changes are noticeable before they show up anywhere else. Two small things that we first noticed years ago have slowly morphed into large trends that are meeting each other in the middle right now, with huge consequences and exciting opportunities. On one side is the changing attitude of young people. The simplest way to think of millennials is roughly everyone in their 20s and 30s right now, with Gen Z, our younger siblings, who are currently late teens and early 20s. We've grown up straddling technological change, becoming adults in a fast-paced world that's beamed directly into our hands every single day. At Junkie, we've tracked millennials and Gen Z as they've become increasingly engaged with big, important issues like news, politics, the environment, and gender and social equality. We've watched the rise of wokeness, a word appropriated from African American culture and applied to someone who is awake to the social injustices in the world. As our global spending power increases to an estimated US $14 trillion in 2021, according to the World Data Bank, millennials will be the biggest contributors to the global economy out of every generation for the next 15 years. How we are spending our money is changing dramatically. We care about these big issues, and we're demanding that decision makers within any company we buy from not only care about us, but be vocal, active, and genuine in their concern. It's a huge movement that's growing louder as we age and our disposable income grows. This increase in demand that businesses change their behaviour to help solve some of these issues is the biggest change we've tracked at Junkie over the past decade of data. The other trend is demographic. The oldest tranche of millennials, of which I'm one, are turning or about to turn 40. As we enter our 40s, and then, over the next decade, our 50s, we are moving into positions of power. There are now millennial heads of state, CEOs, billionaires, politicians, activists, and media owners. As a new generation takes charge, we're able to effect real change inside small and large companies and institutions. So on one side, we have millennials demanding more. And on the other, we have the same cohort taking control of the vehicles that can give them that. These twin trends of demand and supply are crashing into each other and creating circumstances ripe for combustion. Business owners who know this and tailor their product or services towards it are building passionate communities of fans who adore them. Those who don't will be left behind. Adding fuel to all of this was the COVID-19 pandemic that shut down the world in 2020. Alongside economic and social devastation, the coronavirus was like a magnifying glass, taking any tiny weaknesses that existed in a business and amplifying them. Trends that were slowly unfolding, like regional newspapers squeezing out the last remaining years of advertising spend, or bank branches holding on to past traditions, were accelerated by the coronavirus as a decade's worth of changes unravelled in a few months. It wasn't all negative, however, with the inverse meaning green shoots of ideas that had just begun to take hold, like telehealth, the online delivery of information and entertainment, and genuinely flexible work-from-anywhere arrangements were fast-forwarded. This disruption upended a staggering number of businesses, but amidst all of it lay opportunities if you looked hard enough, especially for a new generation who didn't have the baggage of history holding them back and could see the possibilities over the horizon. When you think about starting something new or evolving the company you currently work in, you've got a decision to make. Do you want it to be a run-of-the-mill business that just exists? Or do you want to aim for something higher? Of course, if given that choice, most people would choose the latter. Who doesn't want to run or work for a business whose customers are dedicated fans of what they do and can help them navigate good and bad times? Who wouldn't want an engaged and powerful community that goes out of its way to evangelise about them to friends and family? That is the simplest definition of a business with cult status. In researching this book, I have met, interviewed, and studied hundreds of people from all over the world who are thinking about business in a new way. There's an entire generation coming through who are ignoring the rules their parents and grandparents followed and who firmly believe that there is a better way to do business. The research we conducted at Junkie Media dives deep into the minds of young Australians. But this is not just a trend isolated.